Did you know that a significant portion of writers experience some sort of harassment on the online community when it comes to blogs and social media? One study suggests that 73.4% of writers have reported negative experiences online in the writing community, which includes experiences of hate speech, online harassment, and even physical assault. A lot of people don't normally know this about the writing community, and another survey suggests or found that over 54% of authors face severe mental health struggles after publishing their first book. Something that should be really their top achievement in their life up to that point, because of the writing community experiences trauma. Now, this study doesn't suggest, it's not going over everything about publishing your first book that gives you trauma. That study just went over the effects of the writing community, and the backlash that can sometimes happen to someone's book when they have their first book published. And I will be going forward with one of those examples at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. I actually have an example of an author who actually got bullied by the writers community, and bullied until she actually agreed to unpublish her book. This community, on the face of it, looks amazing. You look at them and they look like a bunch of cheerleaders building each other up. You rah, 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 you can do it. Your book is going to be amazing. It's going to be great. Your poem's going to be awesome. There's going to be a bestseller. You have all the talent in the world. And you look at it and you think more communities need to be like this. Like, why aren't more communities like this? But then you get the sense that this community is like that amazing person that did this terrible thing that ended up shocking the daylights out of you. You think, man, I didn't know that person was that vile. And that's exactly what the writing community is. That nice guy that you never ever thought could do that horrible, disgusting thing. And not every member is like this. I'm going to be spotlighting a couple of people that I've noticed are very positive, and I've never seen them say a negative thing at all. One is an actual editor, and a lot of people say that editors are very manipulative and they're very vile. And like one person going to be spotlighting is an editor. He's a fantastic guy. He always has a lot of very positive things to say about in the community. He's always building writers up. He's always giving them constructive criticism, valued constructive criticism. And we're going to be taking a look at that today. So here we have a tweet that proves both of my points. A shout out to all the real writers who do not use AI to regurgitate words. You're great. Be proud of your accomplishments. I might not like everyone's style or prose, but I have a huge respect for you and what you do. So the problem I have with that is the very beginning. A shout out to all the real writers who do not regurgitate words with AI. That individual basically hid the toxicity of the tweet in amongst a bunch of power positive words that makes people feel good. It's going to make people forget the beginning part that where he was toxic. And I've noticed a lot of that about the writing community, and I first started to notice it when I did my own video where I researched and looked into the ethics of AI as pertaining to writers, when I tried to take an unbiased approach to the investigation. And I did notice that a whole bunch of people were extremely toxic. I was called names that I can't repeat on my channel because my channel might get banned for even saying the words. And I reported those people, and those comments were deleted by Twitter, which is awesome. But some people were absolutely terrible. And just because I'd be trying to take an unbiased approach and I'd be trying to investigate the ethics, and because I wasn't completely against it, because I didn't agree with them, or I can't even say I didn't agree with them. I was taking an approach where it seemed like I didn't agree with them, and they just be blasting me, calling me the R word, calling me an idiot, calling me stupid, and it got brutal. And most of the time it was because they would say what they believe about AI, and I just reply with, "Why do you feel that way?" And they would just go off the handle. And that's what I'm talking about. People using the word real writer. And this is from a self-published author. He's an indie author. And it blows my mind that an indie author would use the words real writer. Because when I first started writing, I got my work traditionally published. And I made good money at it. And it was excellent. My book, I'm going to go with self-publishing, because when I went traditional publishing, when I was working with editors, I didn't like that at the end of the process I didn't even recognize my own works. But I was traditionally published. And I was one of those douchebags that would consider indie authors not real writers or real authors. And I remember a whole bunch of us traditionally published authors would make fun of indie authors. And I thought that way right up until I grew up. And yeah, it's just seeing indie authors talk down to other new authors that are coming up with AI, and some of them aren't even using AI to write. Some of them are just using it as a tool to help them research, help them organize, whatever. But even if they are using it to write for them, who cares? It's not hurting you. When I was on Twitter, I asked a group of 40,000 readers if they cared if the book was written by AI. 95% of those that responded, and a lot of people responded, did not care. They said that they just wanted a good story. They just wanted to read a good story. That was all. So, sorry guys. The readers don't care. They really don't. So when a reader goes in to buy a book, if they buy one of these AI books, they're not going to know. They're not going to figure it out. They're not even going to care. But one thing that we all know, readers go in and they buy like 4 or 5 books. It's called book haul. Now, it's not going to, just because they buy an AI book doesn't mean that they're not going to buy your book. If you are intimidated by AI, it means that you don't have confidence in your craft. And you're just trying to make an excuse as to why your book sells. My book doesn't sell because of this, and the other thing. You're just making excuses. Stop doing that. Cowards do that. Your book, if it's crafted well, will sell regardless of if someone else makes their book with AI. Don't worry. Now we're going to go into someone else. He's not, funny enough, people talk about authors or editors like they're vile and manipulative. And this next guy that I'm going to be talking about, he's an editor. And I've had a few conversations with him, and he's a fantastic guy. He just has positive things to say. Yeah, he's against AI, but I don't really care. I'm not really, in my honest opinion, if someone uses AI to write a whole book, I believe that's over the line, but I'm not going to judge him because it doesn't hurt me, and it's not going to hurt the sellability of my book. This gentleman's name is Rod. He is the owner of RDG Books Press. The hashtag writing community here is rivaled by no other. Look how incredibly supportive the real writers are here on Twitter X. It makes my heart smile. I've had a few conversations with Rod. He's a fantastic man. He doesn't believe in AI. He doesn't even feel like you should use it as a tool. And he's always stating to advise other writers to prevent using AI, but he doesn't do it in a toxic manner. He doesn't do it in a malicious manner. If you want to know how to express your views on Twitter, Look at Rod. He does it perfectly. He's not toxic at all, and he gets his point across. I mean, I don't necessarily believe that using AI as a tool is bad, but I mean, I don't have to agree with you for me to view you as a good person, and Rod is a good person. So again, if you're against AI and you want to express that view, go on Rod's Twitter and see just how he does it, because that's how you're supposed to do it. I mean, I know he used the word real writer, which I don't agree with, but honestly, that's the only knock that I can possibly use against him, is he uses the word real writer. Anyone who writes a book, anyone who has an idea and puts it down on paper, whether you use AI or pen or a computer, you are a real writer, in my opinion. I think that using AI to write the entire book for you is a little much, in my honest opinion, but I'm not going to judge those that do, because again, like I stated before, it doesn't hurt me and it's not going to hurt my book sellability. Since we're on the subject of AI and the toxic writing community, we're going to be going over a few tweets here of people I found that are bashing writers for not only using AI, but people who even use AI as a tool. And again, I'm not bashing the fact that they have this opinion. What I'm bashing is how they convey that opinion, how they get that opinion across. They get it across in a very toxic manner. And here we go. Here is the ever popular writing community, the supportive writing community. Repeat after me. You're not, and you never will be, a real writer if you use Chat GPT for help. My problem with this, obviously, is the fact that they are stating that using AI to even need help makes you this terrible person, that you're not a real writer and you never will be a real writer. Like, imagine these authors that need help. My God, what a ridiculous notion. What author can possibly need help? It's not a weakness to need help. And who cares if they turn to AI for that help, or whether they turn to another writer to brainstorm, or a friend or family member, or if they use writing prompts to assist with their creativity, like it, or whether they read with intention. Who cares? Who cares why they do what they do? Who cares about their method? Care about your own method. Like I state, them using AI isn't going to affect the saleability of your book. And readers don't care. And they never will. AI is here to stay. So, building on the AI type of thing, as I was earlier, here's my favorite one. Here's the grand poobah of negatives toxicity towards AI. An easy tell if someone uses Chat GPT is if they use the long dash. Nobody uses that. So, just so you guys know, that long dash is called the M dash. It actually has a name and it predates AI. Classic literature widely employs the M dash for various stylist effects, including setting off parenthetical information, indicating interruptions in dialogue, and creating dramatic type pauses. Authors like George Eliot, Virginia Woolf, and Fyodor Dostoevsky have utilized the M dash to great effect in their works, like George Eliot's Middlemarch. Eliot uses the M dash to interrupt the narrative flow, prompting readers to question the focus on Dorothea, and prompting a broader reflection on selfhood. And I mean, I don't know if you know this, but George Eliot didn't use AI. Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. Woolf uses M dashes to create a sense of immediacy and mimic the flow of consciousness, often setting off phrases that reflect a character's internal thoughts or feelings. And I don't know if you know this, but Virginia Woolf, she didn't use AI. Fyodor, and I'm probably misinterpreting his last name. I've never been able to get it right. Dostoevsky, probably butchered that. Crime and punishment. In some translations, Dostoevsky uses M dashes to omit parts of names or locations likely to avoid censorship. Just so you know, he didn't use AI. Shakespeare. Yes, the M dash goes all the way back to Shakespeare. Shakespeare, Titus Andronicus. Shakespeare uses M dashes to indicate interruptions in dialogue where characters speak over each other. And I'm not sure how many people are aware, but William Shakespeare did not use AI. So do not follow this individual's. Do not follow his advice and use the M dash or the long dash in which he uneducatedly puts it to state that people use AI, because you're going to be going after a lot of talented writers that in fact do not use AI. And if this individual is watching my video, please stop spreading information. Educate yourself on the writer's craft and stop spreading false information. So this is another one, very toxic. Chat GPT is down, which means I can still write since I'm an actual writer and not just a prompter. Again, I find this very shocking because this is a indie author, and all of you indie authors know that traditional authors make fun of you for not being real authors. So why would you do it to somebody else? Now, I'm not going to hash on this too much because in this video I've gone through it a lot. Using Chat GPT is absolutely fine. You are a real writer if you do that, especially if you only do it for help. And if you have the Chat GPT write your whole story, I honestly wouldn't do that myself. But because of the reasons that I find AI is absolutely terrible at creativity. I mean, the Phoenix Press did that fan fiction with Grok, and it was so bad that it was absolutely hysterical. I was in tears. I wouldn't do it. Even if it made great fiction, I wouldn't do it because honestly, I just think that's a little bit too much. I think that's over the line and abusing the technology, but I'm not going to judge others that do. If that's what you do, go for it. It's not going to affect the sellability of my book because I'm going to be more concentrated on what I'm doing than what you're doing. Now, to kind of prove that this isn't just one person making a comment and everybody ignoring it, to prove that the writers community are jumping on this and these toxic posts and agreeing with it and boosting it up and going, yeah, 100% high five, buddy, like, you know, all that type of stuff, I am going to post some of the replies. Now here's the ever popular 100 with the 2 lines underneath it, basically stating that they wholeheartedly agree with the tweet and that it is a great tweet. They, if you look, they even hit the heart on it to say how much they heart that tweet, when it is probably one of the most toxic tweets I've probably ever seen on Twitter. I'll post a couple here that actually are more toxic, but there aren't too many. Here's someone that liked it so much that they even decided to throw a joke in there. How did you know it was down? And JK, if you don't know what that means just kidding, with the Futurama gif of him narrowing his eyes. And here's the part that gets me. Blake Myers saying, my students. Think about that one. That is a teacher. This person who just tweeted out there a tweet that is going to make people feel bad, that is going to stop people from writing, that is going to stop people from chasing their dreams, is a teacher. This is like, a teacher is someone who's supposed to encourage you to follow your dreams. A teacher is supposed to be someone to encourage you, where if you need help, go seek help. A teacher is someone who's supposed to be telling you to use the tools at your disposal. What is AI other than a tool? Yeah, sure. If they prompt it, in my opinion, it's too much. But what about people with ADHD? What about people with other mental disorders that stop them from being able to write a book? Like, AI can do it for them and give them that sense of fulfillment, that sense of achievement. Like, who am I to say that's wrong? Like, and you have a teacher out there making these people feel bad about themselves. Like that person should be so ashamed of themselves. Like, that is such a jerk thing to do. Like, like, you are a dweeb. Like, there's no other word for it. Like, you're such a bad person. You need to let, if Blake is listening to this, you need to stop that. You are a teacher. You need to do better. So here's another response from an indie author replying to her tweet, basically stating that it's sort of a-okay to tweet something like this by saying Chat GPT may be down, but is Claude Sonnet, with a couple of frozen emojis, and in parentheses, just kidding, with AI there will be a lot of, in quotations, writers. And just to kind of prove that he is an indie author, he's not just an indie author, he is a web novel author, meaning that he doesn't even have books out in, from what I know of right now, in physical form. He just kind of publishes his books on the web. And, Prisoner of Fantasy, that's absolutely fine that you publish books on the web. I mean, good for you. Keep doing it if it's what makes you happy. And yes, you are right. With AI, there will be a influx of, in quotations, writers, and those will be real writers. Those will be people with ADHD and dyslexia and other forms of stuff that prevents them from writing a book when they really want to write a book. And those people will have a sense of achievement and fulfillment, and good for them as well. And shame on you for even trying to downplay their achievements. So you should probably be very ashamed of yourself. And if I mean, it would be appreciated if you were to put on Twitter an apology to them, stating that about your cruel and harsh remarks towards them that were very much unwarranted. Now, here's someone I was actually shocked to see any kind of toxicity from. His name is Timothy Robert, and honestly, he was on All Caps channel as well, being interviewed by them. If you watch it, it's a very good interview, and I was very shocked to see this from him, but he was saying, preach. Which, oh my God, like that's like a toxic comment on top of a toxic tweet. Like, you just can't get at this point is piling on like some kind of toxic cheese hamburger. And if you're watching this, Timothy McKay, I do apologize for kind of going on about Timothy Robert, but he kind of doubles down on his comments by saying, do you know why I didn't know Chat GPT, which is Chat GPT, was down? Because I can actually write myself. Imagine having so little confidence in your writing, you actually need to put people down. Like, does it make you feel better, Timothy, that you can actually write yourself, and someone who has ADHD or dyslexia or any of those other mental disorders needs something like AI in order to assist them with writing a book? Does that make you feel good? I've actually had traditionally published works, and like I said earlier in this video, I used to be one of the douchebags that used to call indie authors not real authors, not real writers, until I grew up. And so I know that you've gone through that. I know that you've been called not a real author by a traditional author. So I don't know, knowing how that feels, why you would actually do that to somebody. Like, seriously, like, you need to be better. You should probably be ashamed. Like, I can't believe you actually said that. And as horrible as it is, I could probably go on for probably about an hour or two about the toxicity of the writing community towards people that use AI. And yes, some people do need to use AI if they have a mental disorder that stops them from actually being able to write. I could probably go on for hours about it, which is absolutely disgustingly shameful, and it's hard to stop at this point. Like, I want to keep going on that subject, but I think I've covered it pretty thoroughly. So let's go on beyond the AI. How the writing community is toxic to people who even don't use AI. I've actually seen some Twitter authors go on Twitter and say how much followers they have, all proud about it, and the writing community just go on and absolutely slam this author. Oh, most of your followers are bots. Most of your followers aren't real. You probably only, yeah, sure, you have 1,000 followers, but you probably only have about 1 or 200. Don't toot your horn too loudly. And they just can't let this person have their time in the spotlight. I don't know. It seems to threaten them in some way. It's really weird. Take this individual, for example. He tooted his own horn and stated 1,000 followers, and then immediately went on the defensive before people could even have a chance at slamming him by saying, yeah, I know some are bots, scammers, or fake book promoters, but after scrolling through this list, I can confirm real humans are in the majority, so I'm calling it a win. I can't imagine how many times this person has had people jump on his posts and completely tear him down for him to put something in the post, an actual legit defense in his post while posting, so that people can't go on and tear him down about how most of his followers are bots and scammers. Like to actually think to have to go through all 1,000 followers and confirm how many are actually human to how many are bots, because you know the second that you're going to post that post that people are going to tear you down by stating how many are actual bots and scammers, that does to how many are real, and just can't let you have your moment in the spotlight, is absolutely asinine to me. Like how threatened are you on your day-to-day life where you're jumping on a post like this and just ripping a person down? Like, why can't you just let someone say, I have 1,000 followers? Yippee. Now, I know I said I was done with AI, but something just popped into my head. Some of the people that are actually trashing people for using AI are ghostwriters. And do you know what a ghostwriter is? A ghostwriter is someone who creates material and for another author to for that author to claim it as their own. So the ghostwriters are actually trashing AI, calling people who use it not real writers. Well, that's probably not a good marketing technique, because then you're telling everybody that goes to you that everyone who uses your services is not a real writer, because they're not creating the material themselves. You're creating it and they are claiming ownership of it. Now, I know people are going to say that, well, you have the writer's permission to use their content. And yeah, that's true. But honestly, when it comes to AI and the, 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 the accusations of it stealing content, so far I haven't found a reliable source that proves that. It basically, from what I can see, it steals content in the same way reading with intent steals content, and that's not actually stealing content. People who are accusing it of stealing content should probably look into what reading with intent is, because from what I can see from reliable sources, that's basically what it's doing. It's basically breaking that content down in order to write in a better method. But that's really besides the point. So I'm just gonna get back on topic here. I'm gonna show you a few posts from an individual that has some mental health issues. I'm gonna black out the name, but basically, what happened when she posted some mental health issues is someone actually had the gall to call them a narcissist. So here you see Alan Kogan, ASMR. I looked at his profile. He does fancy himself a writer, part of the writers community. And he is replying to an individual that stated, if I disappear, would anyone notice? Clearly, this person was going through a field of depression, and they took to Twitter, which is usually not recommended to go on social media when you have depression, because as you can see, you won't attract supportive people. You will get some supportive messages, which they did, but this individual responded, that's a bit narcissistic statement. and which the person stated, I'm not a narcissist. I just went through manic depression from bipolar, and I felt like if I go out to the woods and disappeared, maybe people would be better off. Was trying to find something to hold on to keep me from going over the edge. Maybe shouldn't judge people that you don't know. Now, you'd think that that person would read that reply and go, my bad, I misjudged the situation, I apologize, but that is clearly not what he did. So basically, to her reply, he doubled down and went, I too have manic depression, and I raise you Asperger's and ADHD. So if you want to debate mental health with me, then go right ahead, but be prepared for an epic battle. Now, I don't know what this person's thought method was regarding that. I mean, this individual clearly stated that they were going through a battle of depression and they just put out there who would notice if I disappeared, hoping that someone would say something to hold on to. And they weren't looking for any type of debate about mental health. I don't know what it would pop into his narcissistic mind to make him believe that she is the villain for pointing out that he horribly misjudged the situation. And I don't know why he doubled down by making it a competition of who has the most mental health issues, when she just pointed out, I was just going through a bout of depression. I needed something to hold on to. Maybe you shouldn't judge people. I mean, that just seems kind of elementary to me. It seems pretty basic. Something somebody should already know. I'm hoping my 3 and 5 year old daughters already know that. The fact that this person is also has Asperger's and manic depression, it just seems very, very silly to me that he would judge someone for having a bout of depression. You'd think that he'd be more understanding, but no, you apparently be wrong. He would be more judgmental and harsh towards the person who's going through a bout of depression. It just didn't make sense to me. And then I reached out to this individual that was having depression, seeing that she is being so violently attacked, and I mean, as you can see, people are already going through stuff like this. I mean, why would you pile on to writers, even if they use AI or use methods that you don't agree with? I mean, look what they're going through. But I reached out to them and said, I'm always going to be here for you, so you can always reach out to me. And this is what the person had to in response. His response was way childish. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Take a look at this. So here you can clearly see me respond to this individual stating, "I'm always going to be here for you. Don't let jerks get you down." They're supposed to say, "Don't let jerks get you down." It says, "Don't like jerks get you down." That's a typo. But here is what his response is: a great big giant winky face. Look at this, guys. This is what authors are going through without you piling everything on. So if someone's doing something you don't agree with, just scroll by. Concentrate on yourself and don't worry what other people are doing, because what they're doing is not going to affect the saleability of your book. So here's the tweet that caused me to make this book and look closer into the toxicity of the writing community, and actually made me very shocked at the ugliness that I found. It states, from Charlotte Goodwin, "The trolls have won. The Queen of Vorn is soon to be unpublished. As an author who battled with many mental health issues for years, being in the midst of an online onslaught wasn't fun. Who are you? Who are you, hateful arseholes? Are you happy now?" So just kind of show you guys what happened. It all started over this review right here. It was a very fair review. And as I'll just kind of read some of it. Normally I don't leave reviews, but seeing as nobody else has left anything yet, I figured I could add my 2 cents. The beta reader in me came up with this, and then she goes over to review it. So what a lot of people don't know is the writing community is very supportive as long as you go by their unwritten rules. And one of the unwritten rules is that if someone leaves a negative, or that's not even, it was a fair review, but if you kind of respond to a fair review, and in which she did, she kind of took a picture of it, posted on her Twitter feed, and just basically stated how the review made her sad because it was the first verified review that she had received. And that's a fair, like, feeling any way is fair. She didn't say that the review was unwarranted. She didn't say that the review was ridiculous. She just basically stated that this is my first verified purchase review, and it's 3 stars, and it's kind of got me feeling down. Well, the writing community saw that because she put in the Twitter hashtag writing community, and I'm going to show you what the writing community did on seeing her take a picture of that review and state how sad it made her feel. So as you can see here, you can see some 5-star reviews, some 4-star reviews, some 3-star reviews, but one really stands out, and that's the 1-star review. After seeing Charlotte Goodwin basically post how sad that 3-star review made her, and how she was having a hard time writing and all that other stuff. Seeing that a 3-star review made her sad, they decided to what's called review dump on her book, which means all of the writers community went on her Amazon and started to basically leave a whole bunch of 1-star reviews on her book so that Amazon would stop putting it into the algorithm, and it would stop causing her book to sell. So she's not the only one to be a victim of the writing community mob. That's the best thing that I can really put it. That's the best way I can put it, because basically that's what they did. They did a mob like mentality, saw that 3-star review made her sad, saw that she kind of pointed that out, and they all like a mob. A bunch of them went over and review bombed her work. But she's not the only one. Another one named Tim McKay, he has a channel on YouTube called All Caps. I suggest you go over there and subscribe to it. It's a great channel. They do all kinds of wonderful reviews with authors. But he fell victim to the mob mentality as well. And he also came out with a Twitter post, of which I'm going to post here and read for you. As you can see, it's a big one. A quick note on Twitter mobs: it's easy to prey on the vulnerable, even easier when it's someone you don't like or whose views differ from your own. But if you build your online presence on tearing others down, people will notice, and surprise, surprise, I have. The simple truth: people are human. They say dumb things, make mistakes, get riled up when attacked. A Twitter mob is a great way to push someone already vulnerable to make even more mistakes in public, because we all feel the urge to defend ourselves, even people with no interest in our motives or character. And it's damn near impossible to keep a clear head with a mob attacking you from all sides. Best you can do in that situation is disengage as soon as possible. It goes on to say, if you see someone fall into the trap, get attacked, then fumble even more while trying to defend themselves, you're not a hero for pointing out every little way they could have reworded everything better. You're not a hero for pulling receipts of all the past things they've said or done you didn't like, especially if you lack the empathy to put yourself in their shoes and ask why. You're not a hero for sicking as many others as you can on their story. Hide just to set an example. A quick note on that: we're wired to punish those we believe are in the wrong, but make sure the punishment fits the crime. Mobs throughout history have one thing in common: they disproportionately take and destroy more than the original crime. We have laws to prevent such brutal, savage anarchy. Twitter mobs are no different. They have the potential to send someone spiraling into darkness, often ending careers or even lives. they do something worthy of prison or just a slap on the wrist? Or did they do something worthy of prison or just a slap on the wrist? That's what you should ask yourself before unleashing a mob of your peers on someone, especially in these book drama cases. You're what trying to humiliate and destroy someone because they didn't like your book cover, didn't like the negative review. Oh, it's like he saw that one, got sick and canceled an interview, had a political or religious take you didn't like. What is wrong with you people? Stand down, take a walk, and treat your fellow humans like exactly that, humans. Broken, imperfect, beautiful, vulnerable, and worthy of the chance to thrive. Even the humans you don't like, especially the humans you don't like. The world will never get better if we create cultures that thrive on vendettas and humiliation. Compassion, respect, and yes, sometimes just a simple silence go a long way in this crazy world of ours. Give it a try. So Tim McKay, he said that very well. Mobs, they don't succeed in anything. Just because you don't agree with something doesn't mean that it shouldn't be there. The worst thing that the individual that was review bomb did was basically tell the what she thought was a supportive community how she felt about a 3-star review. It was the first reviewed purchase that she actually received, and it was 3 stars. Was she supposed to be ecstatic about it? Was she supposed to throw a party? Was she supposed to celebrate? I mean, I know what the writing community is going to say about those questions. That no, she shouldn't have said anything at all. But why is saying something so horrible? I mean, if you talk to a psychologist, they're going to tell you you shouldn't keep things bottled in, that you should talk about it. And she went to what she thought was a supportive community to boost her morale, and what she got instead was review bombed. So I'm going to post another tweet by Tim McKay basically stating what people said about him. So here's Tim McKay basically going over his experience with the Twitter mob. Haha, nah, they did it mostly in private before and after we had Devin Erickson on the show. A few posts calling me a hypocrite or a Nazi or a transphobe or some accusations of doing it for sales, literally got none and probably lost some for it, etc., etc. All the usual things you'd expect. I think I've held myself enough in these parts. I think I've held myself enough in these parts well enough that anyone with half a brain knew better. To their credit, a lot of people who despised Devin had my back through it all, and anyone can watch the interview for themselves and see that it was a stellar book conversation. Most controversial it got was mocking the monster bleep genre. So when researching this, I went on Twitter, and as people know, I usually tweet what I'm going to be doing a video on, and I just asked, what do you people think of the writers community? Is it toxic or positive? And I pretty much got a 50-50 split. Some people think it's positive, and some people think it's toxic, but it's basically all on their perspective. And I'm imagining that people who think it's positive, they just haven't done anything that the Twitter community hasn't disagreed with yet. Because as I've proven, you do one thing that the writing community disagrees with, and they're gathering their mob and they're coming after you. But that's been another episode of Book Talk. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe. I will respond to any comments so long as they're they're civil. Any uncivil comment will be removed. But thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next one.